Okay, Lefty Reed here. Yeah, I have lots of different things I call myself, depends on my mood. I want to start off with my eyeballs are like a wall that I'm constantly looking at. So once again, my eyeballs are a wall, and I'm looking at the wall, and things happen on this wall that are mental images or images that your soul creates. Some are worse than others. If they're really, really bad, they're considered hallucinations, but as far as I'm concerned, a mental image is a hallucination. Side note, in order to get away from hallucinations, in order to get away from the stronger mental images that are bothersome, maybe try just envisioning a red snowflake everywhere, like in my ears, in my eyes, in my nose, in my mouth, every orifice, whatever. It has seemed to help me, and I have not seen any pictures on my wall for a day now, because I cover it up with a red snowflake or I wash it off before it gets there. Kind of like a dirty spot on your wall, and it's like, oh, we better wash that off. And so just try to use the red snowflake to stop yourself from doing those things. You know, they say Jesus' blood is life. And then they say there was a Garden of Eden that had a lot of fruit in it. So if I were Jesus, I would say that my heart feels like a strawberry because it's sweet and bright. Because I can put together the blood of life and the Garden of Eden, and hopefully you can now see that the Garden of Eden still exists. Now this whole thing with Satan, like, as long as we are blaming Satan, which is, as far as we know, an imaginary entity, for bad things, the world will always continue to have evil in it. So until we can actually just stop blaming Satan for your decisions and start being accountable for making up your mind on which choices you choose, which can easily be done by analyzing a situation, and like my friend Bobby says, she says, I told you to quick listen, slow to talk, slow to anger. Now, left eye dominant people, they always win, because they choose not to participate in an event if they can actually get away with it until after they have thought it through fully. And I would assume sometimes they think about something for weeks without even vocalizing it. And then they know what situation will play out because they can, and technically I'm left eye dominant. So what I do is, and I'm not very good at it, I see a situation like, I don't know a bad situation to use. I don't have a job. We didn't go to the first one I wanted to talk about because I am tired of talking about it. I don't have a job, so I know I need a job. Now, this is a little bit more action-minded, so to say, but I still have to use mechanical thinking in order to analyze what jobs are good for me. I have to think about what I'm going to be doing if I get that job, how I'm going to handle it, being on my feet or sitting down, talking to customers. Do I know enough about the job to actually sell it like I'm, you know, awesome? Or is this something that I'd have to be fully trained on? So I have a job I can't go get right now. I can go work at Burger King. I'm too smart to work at Burger King, and I don't mean that in a negative way. And And actually, I would almost say I'm just overqualified. I have so many other ideas that maybe me being too smart to work at Burger King actually makes me dumb because I can't do simple things for a living. But within that, I have a criminal background that's not that bad. I got no felonies, but I have some things on there that shouldn't be. But people don't make proper choices, and then I get trapped into going to court. Which, whatever. I needed to meet the mushroom police anyways. So, 4 military convos, 5 military convos. Bunch of military stuff driving by. How many are there? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Anyways, so I have to think about that. Like, I should be a doctor of psychology. I should have my PhD in imaginal psychology. But I don't, because I was in my associate's program and I found myself working on my dissertation, which is the video is about imaginal psychology and how to bridge it with modern day psychology. And if you haven't got the point now, bridging imaginal psychology is taking the Garden of Eden, taking Jesus' blood of life, and then saying my heart feels like a strawberry because it's sweet and bright. I'm a little concerned why no one thought of this yet. I don't know why it's not written in the Bible. If nothing else ever happens to me in my life with this, I would hope that they added that to the Bible. I feel every human on planet Earth needs to be able to put that message together. Whether you practice Christianity or not, we can still say my heart feels like a strawberry because it's sweet and bright. And we could all probably say blood is life. We don't have to refer to it as Jesus' blood for the people that are having different religious practices. So, and then it goes into the fact that, like, in order to get the jobs that I'm qualified for, that I can do professionally, as you can see, I'm wearing a suit. I like wearing a suit because I am a suit. I have to go to court and get my record set aside just so I can do these things. And the reason I have a criminal background is because I was misdiagnosed by the psychiatry field for 18 years of my life, and not getting the proper help, which was the eye surgery I needed to stop hallucinating, which I no longer hallucinate. It's been 3 months now and it's weird. But with those hallucinations that were going on, the medications they fed me didn't work. And I told them this. And so then I turned into an alcoholic, got some more criminal charges. So, like, I know how people are like, oh, well, I got all my records set aside, and then people are like, oh, you got your records set aside, what makes you any different? Like, no, like, this was not my fault. I was born with disassociated vertical deviance. I damaged the area between my Wernicke's and Broca's area, for you doctors who know what that means. I can only talk off the top of my head. 90% of the time, I'm talking off the top of my head and I'm ad-libbing everything like I was in a comedy skit that was ad-lib. It's hard to remember stories. It's hard to remember conversations and actually make conversations out of that in the future so I can have a normal set of circle friends. So, because I'm left eye dominant, and I talk the way I do in such a profound manner of strawberry hearts, people can feel that energy. As well as the fact that people can feel the energy that I suck air in my mouth after I swallow. Which I have to do because at age 12, I had some brilliant idea that I was going to try to suck my penis, and I successfully did it. Like, all the way. So, like, and I didn't even realize that I was supposed to be sucking air in my mouth after I swallowed until about a month ago when I met this girl and had told her that I had sucked my penis, and that I should be working in a health field of some sort with mentally ill people. To use my visual replacement therapy that I invented and copyrighted to hopefully help stimulate their glands enough to get them the energy in their medication. Now, I'm not saying that we don't need the medication, but I think it needs to be given out a little less prominently. Like, that seems to be America's problem for when your thoughts don't make sense to you. Give them some drugs. Well, if I needed drugs to slow down my neurons in my brain, because when I have a PTSD attack, my neurons start producing too much glutamate, which causes them to overactive. The stimulation from my spinal cord produces extra electricity in the firing system of my neuron, and then each neuron will kick on other neurons nearby, and it just ends up to where all my neurons are like being electrocuted too much. So the anxiety med that I take actually produces GABA, which slows down that neuron and almost makes it just work slow, like it should, on a slow level, to where I can be in the pink instead of always heightened up, you know, ready to do something mentally, but physically my body's like, I can't move because my neurons are firing too much, and it's causing my thoughts to wear my body out physically, because all the stimulation from my spinal cord is electrifying itself in my neurons, therefore my muscles are not getting enough stimulation. So yes, my spinal cord is like a electricity line, and when we go to sleep, it gets recharged like a battery, which gives me energy for the next 24 hours or whatever, however long I stay up. After about 20 hours of being up, my spinal cord runs out of is starting to run out of electricity, and it kind of just sits around like a rubber band and doesn't really stimulate anything. My neurons stop firing as fast. My thoughts start moving really fast because I'm trying to understand why is everything going so slow, which really doesn't make sense to me. But these aren't really racing thoughts. They're more or less racing picture thoughts. Like, you can think in pictures. It's an actual thing. Thinking in pictures is what happens when people that don't think inside their head to themselves and commentate their life. Like, I can feel my thoughts. I can scream in my head. I can laugh in my head. I can whisper in my head. And the whisper in my head is just my consciousness that comes from my dream eyeball, which is in the back of my head. It's my pineal gland. It's the eyeball I look through when I go to sleep. It's my dream eyeball. So I have 3 eyeballs, my dream eyeball and 2 up here. The 2 up here are connected back here below the dream eyeball, where the dream eyeball looks down on what information is being processed from these 2 eyes, which is why a triangle is my favorite shape. So the reality of me being able to get a job because of, I mean, you may think I went off topic, but no. This is what I was programmed to do. My brain is like a robot. There's electricity in my body firing my neurons. The neurons are electric wires, and they go to different places to stimulate certain things, but unless I get lots of money, I'm not going to be able to practice the things that I want to do, because I can't go back to college. I finished my dissertation, man. As far as I'm concerned, I already have my doctorate degree. And I got my doctorate degree from the creator of the universe through practicing closed-eyed meditation, which I will never do again, because the last time I did, a week ago, I was sitting down, closed eyes in the lotus position, and my feet turned into mirrors, and I looked down, and I was staring at a reflection of a dinosaur, which was myself, which was like a Tyrannosaurus Rex. So after that, I decided I don't need to go in there anymore, because he probably didn't want me to wake him up in the first place, because closed-eyed meditation is nothing more than falling asleep consciously. So I still practice open-eyed meditation, and I talk to the bear. Even though I'm left-eye dominant, I still talk to the bear, which would be my right foot. But I've almost come to the conclusion that the red snowflake kind of scared the bear away. So now everywhere and everything that I see on my wall is covered with a red snowflake to wipe out the imagination of Alice in Wonderland that has been caused by misunderstanding left-eye dominance for so many years. Now, I am left brain dominant. I think analytically, I think logically. I'm not as good as most people. I'm not as quiet as most people. I don't know how to quick to listen very well. And I feel I can't date Bobby unless I learn how to be quick to listen. You know, slow to talk and slow to anger. Like, I don't really get angry all that much. People may think I do, but what you're seeing on this screen, I mean, I'm the same person all day long, but when I'm at home alone off camera, I'm kind of depressed, because I don't understand why it's so hard for me to get a mass majority of the planet to listen to me about the Garden of Eden having strawberries and the life of blood being inside that strawberry, or my heart feels like a strawberry because it's sweet and bright, which makes blood strawberries. So that statement should bring together and unite right eye and left eye dominance, and this whole color blue thing should be minimized to where people understand the lefts, because the left eye dominant people, we already understand the right eye dominant people. You're afraid to say the word never mind. We get that. We don't know why you made that idea up. We didn't tell you to make up any ideas up about that. I would just say that, like, rainbows can be made of plastic, and I feel that's something even worse to talk about than saying that other word. I mean, the word never mind is nothing more than me, and it is it's a mean word. It'd be like someone's trying to ask you a question and you just tell it to them, and then it's like, well, you kind of left them hanging, but, you know, maybe you were just so frustrated with being able to explain something to somebody that you gave up, because maybe they'll get it in a week. So people ask me to explain my things that I say, and, you know, if I say my soul is a grapefruit and my soul comes from my groin area, or my penis, the area of my penis is where my soul energy comes from. You feel it the most when you're having sex. You know, I like to drink grapefruit juice. I suggest you drinking it like a baby with your eyes closed, because that feels to me that I'm putting my soul back inside my body while it tries to escape throughout the day. You know, and you can swallow, you can take a drink of water, try to blow it out your nose, you know, blow water out, and that's going to make you kind of fall asleep too on a conscious level, but you're going to be a little bit more aware than if you were closed-eyed meditating. Blowing water out your nose after drinking is more like passing through the closed-eyed meditation state really quickly, falling asleep really quickly, and then waking up to a darkness that fell down behind your eyes so that you can see the Garden of Eden easier, so you can see that my heart feels like a strawberry. My heart's made of strawberry blood. I have strawberry-filled heart. Strawberry-filled blood. My heart is filled with strawberry blood. I don't know how many different ways you can say this, and there's different people that ask me questions on things, and then I gotta find a different way to say the same thing, and I'm pretty sure that just saying my heart feels like a strawberry because of the Garden of Eden and Jesus Christ's blood was life. I think that's probably something that everybody can understand, at probably a 12th grade or a 12-year-old mentality, maybe even younger, depending on how much these kids have had happy, caring, loving lives. I'm not too worried about my son. He's left eye dominant. He told me red is white, and I believe him now because of the red snowflake. My daughter's right eye dominant. She probably is afraid to say the word never mind, and that's probably why she said she likes unicorns. But we're trying to not make mental rules of imagination through situational, objectable conversation.